when we last left our heroes, there was 2 more of them than there are now.
3 more, technically.
Technically, that's true.
Why do you have to hurt me in this way?
I thought I was ready.
I didn't put waterproof mascara on, and that was my first mistake.
Ooh.
Bad
choices. That evil laugh.
So, does anyone want to recap? And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and wrangle a small puppy and turn on a light.
She's not small, but yes, please wrangle. Large. I guess I can... I don't remember what happened at the beginning of last sentence.
Kaylee got nabbed.
Kaylee got kidnapped, and instead of immediately searching for her, we went and got breakfast.
Mm-hmm. And it was really good breakfast.
It was, but Lindsay and I, OOC, had to hear all about it afterwards. So we went and got breakfast, and then after coming back from breakfast, we realized she wasn't back. We searched town for her, couldn't find her. Meanwhile, Kaylee was being, tortured by this fire genasi for information about her brother and his whereabouts and where he might go, and Kaylee very willingly gave up all the information possible about where her brother might go, and, yeah.
The chase begins.
So we decided we needed to get on our ship and head out. We were still getting some work done on our ship, so Bribus, our quartermaster, was like, we're gonna have to wait till morning. Like, fine, but hurry up.
Also, there was a hecka storm a brewing.
Oh yeah, there was a storm a brewing, so we couldn't leave that night. That's part of it. Good call.
Bribus was like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And we were like, fine,
I guess. And then Alaric went to the university to check out a sword thing that... No?
Went to the Academia Curiosus. That's all. Carry on.
Oh, okay. He went there and to talk about a sword that had his deity's symbol on it, and in the process of touching it and learning about it, he was called into a different plane where there was a lot of light and his deities, or deity, and he left us forever. Maybe not forever.
Just like that!
But he just left us and sent a note, which we'll read now. I mean, when this session officially starts.
Like now?
Like right now.
No, we'll wait. I did see someone new. Hey, Saberbladder there. Or Blader. Saberblader?
Saberbladder?
Yeah, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry I butchered that. Blader. I had to lighten it up. I also just did want to plug in that we do have some... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel bad now. We do have some Discord or some Revlo stuff that's going on. For those of you that are not part of our Discord server, you can spend your Revlo points if you save them up in order to buy access to our Discord server, and you can ask us stuff about the campaigns and talk with the players and the GMs. You can even pick our GM's brains about how to plan different sessions. I know some of our people post some homebrew stuff, and we take a look at them and give feedback and things like that. There's also you can name NPCs and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that's in there, so make sure you guys are spending that, and not just for gambling. Yeah, so there goes King barking. Yep, right on schedule. Yeah, so other than butchering the people that are watching's names, was that the recap? Was that the whole thing? Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I miss anything?
I was not here for most
Got
of
it.
So.
Yeah, the ticking clock is one of our party's brothers is being chased down by a criminal organization, and we're going to try to head him off at the pass. And that's pretty much it.
Yes, and MJS October, that's a very good point. Saving up to 2,000 Revlo points will net you a ticket in a follower one-shot. So, there you guys go. Yeah, one quick thing for all the smart people that are watching or people that are playing as well. What would you call like a collection of names for like different types of terrain features? Like if you were to like Google terrain feature like name ideas, what is that? Is it just terrain features? Is that
Geography,
just it?
topography.
Topography names?
Geography names. Geographic terms.
Geographic terms. Like I'm not thinking so much like peninsula, like that is one and stuff like that, but like like timber, glade, forest, like what's the name for rolling hills? What's this? Is there like I need a glossary of that just so I can study it as a GM. You know?
That's a good point. I just say undulating waves. Green hills.
A cacophony of yeah, that's my one big word for the night. Okay.
Rotund Mountain.
The rotund. Rotund hills.
Rotundly.
Hills of green. Rotund.
Fantasy biomes. I like that. I'll probably Google
Biomes is good. Biomes is a good one.
Okay.
It's not topography.
No.
Geographic glossary.
Yeah, right? Like, I was thinking of that. I was trying to Google some stuff earlier, and because whenever you're reading fantasy books, they're always like, oh, this is the such and such place. Like, this is the Bloodborne such... They don't use hills. They use a really cool-sounding name, you know?
Yeah.
So I was curious, like, where Tolkien wrote all that down as.
Glossary of geography terms.
I just usually use a thesaurus and slog through it.
Yeah, that patch
Archipelago. Alluvial soils.
I know that one from Trimmers. That's where I know that one from.
Biota.
That sounds like a car from another country.
Bituminous.
Okay, so now the GM's going to put on a serious face and actually play instead of stalling all night. Okay, so the party safe aboard the boat. All of you in your various stages of turning down for the night. The last thing that we left off on was the bright light that overtook the far portion of Sapphire City in the direction of the Arcana Curiosus. It's been a month. The light that lit up the entire sky, it looked like the rising sun almost, as this giant, just like hard to look at glow lit up the night sky. All of you had seen this as it kind of flashed very briefly in the direction of where you knew that Alaric had gone. After some time talking amongst yourselves, kind of processing what happened, you eventually kind of turn in for the night, have a early start in the morning, so to speak. Is there anything that anyone wanted to do before turning in for the night, as Corin and Kaylee kind of just, having both had a very long and kind of exhausting day, head off and get some sleep?
Well, I mean, I finished working on Alaric's armor, so...
Well, yeah, you gave that to him before you left.
Oh. Yeah, fortunately, because he'll need it.
Or, I mean, you could have worn it. That would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been real nice, so that's fine. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. I'll just try and help the crew, make sure that we're, like, ready to go right away.
Yeah. Skyla's gonna spend most of her time in the crow's nest until it starts raining, I guess. And then... Can she put the portable hole, like, on the pole, like the mast?
It needs enough flat surface to adhere to, and it's roughly, I think the opening is like 4 foot or 5 foot across or something. It's pretty large, so it wouldn't wrap around it. At the bottom of the crow's nest you could, but it would just be really deep.
Well, I don't want the rain to come in, so I was thinking, like, maybe even just slapping it on the wall of the crow's nest. If it starts raining, I'm just... If not, she'll log inside and...
Skyla starts thinking that someone should really invent some sort of thing on a
Overhang.
stick that you hold up, and
Oh my gosh, Skyla is like low key, like the most brilliant person.
Skylar's
She
inventing the
everything.
umbrella that's been around since the first age. Like,
And then she looks and sees all her stuff's been flooded. It's like, oh well. But we got the dead body out, right? There's.
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah.
asked this like 4
Yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah.
Long time.
I know I've asked this so many times.
She was
but
left in Green Hill.
Okay. All right.
Nicely buried.
No, I told
I'm
Gregor
not
to bury
just
her, but then
left.
Gregor died, so who knows if she got buried.
Oh shoot! There's just like this old lady's body, like sitting on the side of the road somewhere,
It's disgusting.
next to like the shattered ice statue of that evil lady by the lighthouse.
the human sickle or the
Yeah.
sickle.
Sickle.
Awful.
Bag of holding on a stick. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to do? Nothing?
Nah, just help the crew and then turn it.
As you guys are, and I guess I'm going to ask that Alaric officially be laid to rest, and you insert your new name into Roll20 so I don't look down and see the wrong thing constantly.
My bad. God.
You have to.
Also, I'd like to point out that I met this guy, but I don't think he told me his name. It was just like, hey, nice to meet you. Bye.
In the middle of all of it, Bribus was bringing a lot of people on the ship. You guys hadn't met anyone. So does Roland want to do anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Nope. Just staying wherever he got a place to kind of sleep. It's going to be kind of. We're still on the shore, right?
Yeah, you guys are still at the dock. You guys can't move out till the morning. The storm that was settling in is kind of just like hitting right now. The ship's kind of rocking back and forth. There's lightning kind of flashing through the sky, and the rain's starting to come down now. So it doesn't seem like it'd be safe to sail out right now.
Okay. So if anyone were to walk by, they would just probably see him kind of absentmindedly kind of twisting this like gauntlet on his wrist, like kind of over and over and over again, or like kind of tugging at it. What's it made of?
It's you're talking about the bracelet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made out of like a it's not like iron. It's kind of a like a purplish metal. It looks like some kind of metal with some kind of additive in it. I guess the best thing, like blued steel, is what it looks like. A solid piece. It doesn't look like there's a clasp that's on it, on yours at least, but on the gold bracelets there typically are.
Okay. So I don't think anyone's walking by, so we don't have to talk about it more. But yeah, just kind of fidgeting with that.
Okay. All right. So as you guys are doing this, turning in for the night, you hear up on the deck of the ship, Bribus's voice kind of come up a little bit. And he's like, "Ooh, it's very late. Can't this business wait until the morning?" And you hear for those of you that are still up and kind of moving about, you hear a kind of a feminine voice that seems to be a little bit winded, a little bit kind of like hasty, like, "No, I must speak to them now. It's very important. Can you please just go and get one of them? I believe Kaylee was the name, was the one that I spoke to. I just need to talk to them." Does anyone do anything?
I'm assuming I'd be moving about the deck and below deck, trying to like secure things and get ready to set out immediately. So.
Okay. So while you're doing this, you do see Bribus talking to someone that's like kind of coming up the gangplank, and he was doing the same thing, kind of just like battening down the hatches, so to speak, before the storm really kicks off. And as he was tightening things up, he saw someone approaching fairly quickly up the dock and coming on board the ship. And he basically kind of like stopped them. And again, it's you do hear a definite feminine sort of voice, but they're kind of have a cloak wrapped around them very tightly against the weather. Their hood is up to protect them from the rain and stuff like that. And they're kind of just gesturing, like, no, I must talk to them. And if you're up on deck, it's not very large. It would be no more than, at the very furthest point, probably like 100 feet away. If actually the ship's probably not even that big, but.
So Bribus seems pretty stern and like agitated from what I can see.
It's fairly late, so it's probably a bit unusual.
Okay, I will make my way over.
Okay. Is anyone else up and about, or is Skyla up in the crow's nest?
I mean, if people are still like working, she'd be helping, so I can go with it. Yes.
Okay. So as you guys approach, and remind me again, did either of you go to the Arcanademia Curiosus?
I did not.
Oh wait.
Okay.
I think Skyla did.
I'm the one that saw the sword. Yeah.
Okay. So as you approach Nessa, you see an older high elf with fairly dark skin, kind of hair that at one point in time was probably, dark brown, very fine, but is starting to gray and kind of frizz out a little bit, peeking out from underneath this hood. And Skyla, you recognize Madame Manisha, who works at the Curiosus, and kind of talking to Bribus. And as she sees you approach, she kind of like almost brushes Bribus aside a little bit and says, there you are. I need to speak with you at once. It's about your friend.
About Alaric?
Yes, about Alaric.
Is it raining or it's probably cold?
Yeah, it's raining.
Come in. We have that. Can we use that big room? Remember, Nessa, with the fireplace?
Yeah, of course we can.
Let's go there.
So he, Bribus, like, kind of gives you guys like a bit of a nod, looking for kind of assurance that everything's all right. And,
yeah, I nod at him.
All right, so he goes off and finishes doing some stuff. Make a Skyla and Nessa make a perception check.
Perception.
Ooh.
Okay. Skyla, as you guys are kind of ushering her down, you see a kind of hulking figure walking along near the bow of the ship, towards the front of the ship, carrying something very large in their hands. And as you kind of like take a second, it kind of catches your eye, and you look again. You see a soaking wet, ponderous, like drenched. His long, like, cat beard is just, like, pouring. And he has what looks like... Yeah, he does have a cat beard. He has, a couple fairly large chunks of wood. And he is, like, putting them down near the bow of the ship.
Yes.
He's kind of far away, but...
Yeah?
You see a giant cat, too?
Yeah, I met him earlier today.
Wait,
I think he's a carpenter. I don't know if you did.
Met him at least once.
He was walking by carrying a giant like tree trunk. Basically, we were like, "What is he doing?"
Okay, all right, never mind. Not as puzzling.
I'm lifting up my cloak to try and help keep this lady dry. She has the cloak. I don't know. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah. So you guys head inside. Manisha kind of follows you, grateful to be out of the weather. And into the room there. As she does, she says, is this all? I mean, is there anyone else that... I know Kaylee was a member of your group.
A couple of us have already turned in for the night, but...
We have a long
What's going on?
Us.
What's happened?
So are you leaving?
Yes. At first light, as long as the storm's passed.
Yeah, whenever Albert comes back.
Yeah, whenever Alaric comes back.
She kind of like looks a little bit like at a loss for a bit, and she says, "Well, I came to talk to you about Alaric. I assume that you saw what happened earlier tonight. The flash in the sky. I mean, I don't see how anyone could have missed it. I've already been approached by way too many people.
Yeah.
And I think that the university's going to start looking into it soon."
Wait, what does that
Well,
have?
Alaric came, he explained to me that you had told him about the sword that we had there. And,
your Archibald's friend.
Yeah. And when he took it, I've never seen anything like it. I've studied that sword for years, and my instructor before me, he studied it for years before that, and never heard of anything like that. It was incredible.
Get out.
But
He took the sword, and it was like something connected. I knew that the sword was something special, but I never believed it was an artifact of that much power. And after the light cleared, it took me the better part of an hour to even just regain my sight. But it was incredible, and Alaric was gone after that.
Gone?
I don't know where he went. It was a flash of light, and the entire Curiosus was just flooded. And I'll be honest, I've never felt better. I've moved faster and with less pain than I have in years, and I only spoke with him briefly, but what was that? Do you know anything of what that was?
I don't know. There was one time Alaric used the light as a signal, but that's the only time I've seen it, and that was just like normal light.
I know of bright magic that can heal, but nothing like that.
If you hear from him, will you please contact me?
Wait, wait. But he was there with you. Why would where did he go?
I honestly have no idea. I've never seen anything like that. It was not like any portal that I've read of. It was not like any sort of magic that I've seen in my time before. He was there, and the room was just flooded with light and power like I've never seen. And then he was gone, and I still don't believe it. I just... There was a dog barking.
But
He sounds so distressed.
where could he have gone? Maybe he just walked out of the room.
Would he have not come back here?
Maybe he's getting cinnamon rolls.
This place is
I think-
closed now.
I put my hand on Skylar's shoulder. Thank you for letting us know. If we can send word to you, we will.
What do you mean? What? Well, you can't leave yet. We have to find him. Kaylee was gone this morning. Alec's gone tonight. We have to go find him.
Skylar, remember when I mentioned the sword earlier?
Yes.
It spoke to me when I was with Archibald, and it said that it had a greater purpose, and it needed to meet Alaric. That's why I told him about it. I didn't know this would happen, but do you remember when we were at the monastery and we put those items in front of the door, and then they got enveloped by light, and then they were gone?
Yeah.
And the door opened because of Alaric's symbol touching it.
Okay. So he opened
So I
another
think he's-
door?
Yeah, I think he went through another door.
You don't have any way of contacting him?
I mean, we could send a letter, but it might take a long time.
I think so.
I don't even know where he is. What?
Well, I came to ask questions, but I see that I'm probably not going to find my answers here. I think that I'm going to spend some time looking into this. I talked with him briefly, and I talked with Kaylee and Skyla here, and I think I have some questions that I can pursue on my own and probably out of earshot of the university. But There was a display that did not go unnoticed, and I think it might be best if you all are leaving, as you say, unless you want a lot of attention coming your way. Displays like that don't happen in Sapphire City without someone investigating it. As a courtesy to you and your friends, I'll try and delay them as much as I can, but I was already asked about it several times on the way over here, and I feel that word travels fast, especially with things like this.
Don't worry about us. We're already heading out as fast as we can. And just don't worry. But
I'm going to be heading back. If you need anything before you leave, you know where I am.
yeah, we'll call on you next time we're in the city.
And she kind of heads off pretty briskly, pretty spry looking.
My hand is still on Skylar's shoulder. I'm just kind of watching her and processing.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I guess not.
Okay. All right. As you guys turn in or do what you will for the night, the storm rolls in. It gets a bit more and more hectic. The ship heaves quite a bit. For those of you that are not used to it, it's probably a little disconcerting. But you do see that a lot of the sailors that are there tend to just sleep through the night, or for those that are on watch, doesn't seem to bother them that much. As the dawn starts to creep up, just a little bit before the sun rises, you hear Bribis's voice up on deck again. Oh, for crying out loud! No, for the last time, no one is getting on board. This is it. This is completely inappropriate. You have no reason to be here. What is this? And you hear a lot of voices. I say a lot. You probably hear a good 10 to 20 voices that are just kind of like murmuring and talking over each other and kind of like, you don't have any you have to tell us just something, anything.
I will rush upstairs.
Okay. When you get upstairs, you see Bribis standing on the gangplank, kind of like hands in the air. You see Ponderous behind him, just swollen up, kind of like just standing there, just like
Our cat
not necessarily
bodyguard.
not like growling, but just like looking in kind of like distaste.
Indignant cat face?
Yeah, indignant cat face. You also see kind of a stocky-looking female dwarf standing next to Ponderous. She's just like... she has a bit of a beard going on, and you notice that she's actually not wearing any shoes.
Huh.
Standing there. Bribis has his hands up and is just like out like this, and you see standing down on the dock a collection of about 15 to 20. I would say like trod upon, but this is Sapphire City, so there aren't very many trod upon people. So the lower class of individuals in Sapphire City are like higher class for most other places in Heartland, but you definitely see like laborers and blacksmiths, and judging by the nature of their clothes and the cloaks that aren't like the nicest material in the world. For those of you that ran up to check, can you mute over there, please and thank you?
Me? Why?
I'm getting a big echo.
Okay.
Sorry.
I tell you all the time that I always hear an echo with you.
Getting a huge echo.
I know, and I do too, and you just tell me a stream doesn't hear it, so I just ignore it, but I'm just letting you know that...
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So for those of you that ran up onto the deck, you see a group of these 15 or 20 so people that are standing there kind of like asking Brivis question after question, like, what was the light in the sky? We heard that he came from this ship, this, that, and the other thing. They're kind of talking. For those of you that are out there, could you give me either a perception check or an insight check? And it's fairly loud, so everyone on the ship would have heard this.
I was probably already up early doing my practices.
Yeah, this is like the very early morning. First roll.
Oh.
8. Okay. Roland, as you come up on deck, kind of keeping to the back. You're muted, by the way, but the sun's not up just yet. But it is getting a little bit brighter out. Probably just kind of, just right in the eyes a little bit.
Wow. Serious lag. I clicked that like 2.5 minutes ago. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Okay. And then for Skyla, as you get up, you're kind of just looking around. You don't really pick anything specific out. For Nessa, though, as you come up onto the deck, you kind of take in the whole entire situation, and you're seeing what's going on, and then something kind of strikes you as odd, especially as you were walking around Sapphire City for how diverse it is, and diverse with a very heavy elven presence. Every single person that's on the dock is a human. They look sort of working class. You've seen a lot of humans around the city, a lot of them working with or for shops or things like that. Maybe one or two that own their own place, but for the most part, they work for other people in the city, and they're all there kind of eagerly asking questions about what happened last night.
So I will walk up to Bribus and just kind of address the crowd. What exactly is going on here?
Well, word around town is that light in the sky, it came from across town at the Arcanademia, the old rundown building. They're saying that was from a human. That something happened, that there was this flash of light and that a human was involved. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
What happened? They're not telling us anything. They won't let us know anything.
I wasn't there. I was here.
Well, look, and you see this one person stand up, and the others are kind of looking to him, almost kind of like a de facto leader type of thing. Kind of like, the guy that starts the union.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he kind of steps up and he's like, well, we heard some talk and we just wanted to get some answers. We heard a name being thrown around, and it's not something that we heard before, but does the name Lathander mean anything to you?
We were all religious. No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Now, and you can see he's a little. He seems to be a bit more comfortable talking with you, Nessa, specifically. He kind of like steps into this like, just like leaning in, kind of like having a conversation, and kind of casting eyes at other people around. Gives Ponders a little bit of a look, kind of like gives a little evil eye to the dwarf that's up on deck. But he kind of leans in and he says, they're saying that man was, that he was a paladin of this Lathander?
Yeah.
And he kind of glances back to the rest of me. We never heard of no Lathander before, and there's people saying that he's a god of the humans. That can't be true. We humans, we don't have a god.
Skyla kind of scooches towards the situation. I mean, I can see that people are responding better to Nessa, and she doesn't want to mess that up, but she also knows more than Nessa does right now.
Yeah, Nessa's like, I don't.
So she's just kind of like scooch. Just trying to see if people react badly towards her or anything.
You kind of make your way down the gangplank, and you're standing between Bribus and Nessa. The gangplank's not wide, like maybe 1 or 2 feet.
Yeah. At this point, I probably... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Humans first.
Carry on. Oh. Excuse me? But at this point, when people are like, Vader's a human god, I'm like, I don't remember Alaric ever telling me anything about that. Because we never really had god talk. And so I just kind of...
You guys had a couple religious talks. You specifically asked Alaric about your power and where it's coming from.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You've had conversations.
Okay. I was gonna say, I probably do look at Skyla for, like, reassurance, like, correct me if I'm wrong, or stop me if I do something dumb.
And Alaric knows that Lathander is a that Lathander was a long-lost deity, specifically of humans, and if at any point in time during your talks with that.
That makes sense. Probably.
Yeah, definitely would have brought that up with specifically you, Nessa.
That's fair.
And everyone else knew that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they went to the temple and all, so.
Oh, yeah, of course. So to the person who said that and was like, but we don't have a god.
There's Oh, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
You go ahead.
No,
you go ahead.
There's actually a temple. It's really run down and probably lost for a while, but it's down by Moss Branch.
But what you heard was not wrong. Lathander is the god of the humans.
And you see, like, as you're saying that, a couple people just kind of murmur, and it kind of spreads around, and you see people kind of, like, leaning forward and listening as they, like, oh, did you hear that? Da, da, da. And it just, you don't really catch anything specific, but there's definitely excited murmur that passes through the crowd.
Right.
What was that like? What happened? I mean, they're not going to tell us. They're going to try and lock the place down and not tell us anything.
It was probably Lathander. I don't know, we weren't there. Alaric went, and then now he's gone. He left. With the light, I guess.
So that was his name?
Yes.
You see him. Alaric.
Great.
It's a good name. Good. He kind of nods a little bit to himself. Who's carrying the sending stone?
I don't.
I was trying to figure that out. I don't recall exactly. I think when we split up, I think I probably would have handed it to Corin.
Probably. I know that I don't have it.
But then after that point, I don't know if one of them if Corin would have given it to Bribus or something else.
Okay. So, for the sake of this, since Corin's not here specifically, I'm just going to say that Nessa, that you have the sending stone on you. Just
cool.
We'll just call it as that. Especially, and we can even rationalize it after the conversation with Manisha last night. And do you have any way to contact him?
Right.
You specifically kind of had this thought. As you're standing there having this conversation and they're talking to you, you feel a bit of a warm kind of like heat build up in the pouch that you have this sending stone in.
While they're all murmuring, I'm just gonna immediately turn around, like grab Skyla and go back behind Bribus and Ponderous and pull out the stone.
As you go ahead and do that, and you have you kind of hear like, oh, wait, and they kind of are calling after you a bit. As you grab the stone, it's glowing, just like bright, like pulsing, and the light to you feels familiar and kind of comfortable. And as you're looking at it, the stone activates, and there's a bit of a flash in your hand, and you hear the voice of Alaric resounding, like not through the message that it's supposed to be, almost amplified. The voice of Alaric coming through and sending a message. It sounds a little bit like an echo, like it's kind of far off, like the connection is and then it kind of solidifies a bit, and it sounds like there's a struggle there to send this one message.
Oh.
And Alaric says, Alaric?
If someone wants to chat it to me, I can say it.
If whatever you want to do, whatever comes to your mind, but if you want to do the specific chat, then
I'll just do the specific one. Oh god, do I still have it?
I'm going on Twitter right now to find it for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Where is it, dude?
Dramatic timing is perfect.
I don't. I looked
I
for
think-
it on Alaric. Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Really?
it was like a month ago.
Yeah, I'm like, where?
It's because freaking Twitter doesn't display things chronologically anymore. I got it. It just
Okay.
says, well, if I'd known I was addressing a mob, I would have said
I
something
tried to give you
different.
some privacy. I'm sorry.
But you don't know what's on the other line, Alaric. You just know that one of your party members has activated the stone in order to receive the message.
Oh, okay. So, as per, okay, gosh, I don't know why this is so hard to slip into this. I was like, something extraordinary happened. I had to go, but I will return. I will miss you all. And I named the fox Zephyr after you, little sister.
And with that, the light in the stone dies out. And you hear kind of a bit of excited murmuring coming from off the ship. Was that him? Were those his words?
I compose myself. And I go back over. What does it change for you if it was?
Everything.
Sorry,
A little human baby. They're just so happy. That was him.
He kind of
He's
looks
off.
around a bit. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's our friend, and he's answering a higher call.
Lathander's call.
I think so.
Then I think that there's a lot that we have to figure out for ourselves, but I feel like we have more of a place now than we did before. This is...
We always had a place. We just have to step into it.
well, there were those that didn't want us to.
I know.
And he kind of looks around a bit and sees the state the ship's in and everything like that. You all headed out?
Yeah.
Wish you well.
And you.
And he kind of motions to the crowd, and they all just kind of like stop for a second as he starts leaving. They all just slowly turn and follow him. Bribus looks back at the rest of you. I think we ought to be shoving off now.
Yeah.
Let's go. And he kind of just like starts calling out orders, barking things at the rest of the crew. You see a couple of the, just run-of-the-mill sailors that were hired for this come up and start pulling ropes and pulling the gangplank off and basically pushing off the dock and getting ready to set sail.
Okay. I'm gonna go make sure Kaylee and Corin are up so that they can help. Particularly
They were there
Corin.
as well.
Oh, JK. Oh, everyone
Yeah, they're-
heard it. Oh.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
everyone heard it.
Okay, good.
As you guys begin sailing out of the bay, away from Sapphire City, the sun does begin to rise up, but that kind of ever-present glow of the trees is on shore, and as you guys sail away, fading into the horizon, leaving Sapphire City. Roland especially, probably getting one or two last glances, and as you pull away from Sapphire City, a little tired and a little bit kind of just worn out, you kind of feel that numbing sensation, that ever-present kind of cloying like fuzz, that cloud, that static that just surrounds you all the time, slowly start to just break away, and you feel that kind of warmth on that bracelet dim and dull as it finally lays cold on your hand. You think that maybe tomorrow might be an interesting morning.
We shall see. But for now, just kick back on the bunk and just look up top of the bulwark.
All right. Does anyone need anything? Do anything?
Nah, I'd probably just clap Burbus on the shoulder, just be like, anything we can do to hit our top speed. We're in a bit of a race right now.
Well, we don't have any magical fire sails to help us on our way, but...
Burbus, no fire.
Well, yes. So you guys set sail. It's roughly going to be, I think, if I remember correctly, let me just take a quick... It's going to be like a 10-day or something like that.
I think it was a 10-day, and then you rolled well for navigation.
Oh, that's
so
right.
Dropped
It was,
good job,
it
Bo.
was 8. Yeah. Bo did some navigating and did manage to find, did some calculations on the wind and the way that the storm was rolling in, and did manage to find a way to, he thinks, cut the trip short by about 2 days. So you guys have about 8 days of activity on the boat that you can be doing whatever you want, as long as it does not involve fire. I'm good to go.
Well, just no fun.
There
then.
go all my plans. Gosh.
Just ban happiness.
Ooh.
If he could.
Probably during the nights, Roland would go out on the deck and just kind of look a little bit uncomfortable, but we'll say cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
And for the rest of you, Roland, he's a little short guy. He's like 5'2". He's got vibrant blue skin, white hair, kind of golden eyes. His clothes are kind of old and dingy, but they seem to be of a fashion that was probably hip like 80 years ago.
Oh.
But it's like a real well put together thing, just a little bit anachronistic, and not, they're dirty but well kept. Like the still seams are all nice and everything. They're still a little bit old. A little bit of the color is washed out of them, that sort of thing. He's got these obnoxiously large, like kind of dark tinted goggles that he wears mainly during the day.
Aww.
And that's kind of a basic description.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys are going around, at random parts throughout the day, you hear strange banging noises and clawing. You hear a couple loud splashes off the side of the ship. And for anyone that goes and investigates, you find Ponderous in some sort of like makeshift rope harness hanging from the bow of the ship, tearing the old the maidenhead off of the ship, like by claw, by crowbar. He's like tearing chunks of the eagle-like maidenhead that was on the front of the ship, or was it the wolf one?
It was a
I
wolf,
can't remember. It was the wolf, yeah. So off the front of the ship, and as he's doing so, just shoddy work. Bloody elves don't know how to carve anything. Doesn't even look like a real wolf. Monstrosity. Terrible, terrible. And he's just like clawing it off, basically.
Ponderous, that's not urgent. You don't have to do that while we're sailing.
What else is Ponderous supposed to do?
Fair enough.
My personal opinion, I agree. I think it is it is due for improvement.
Yeah, see, the little one knows what he's talking about. Besides, I couldn't look at it another day.
It's literally like out of your view. It's like on the front of the, like you can't even.
Ponderous knows it's there.
We know it's there. That makes a big difference.
All right, Ponderous. As long as you're comfortable. If you fall in the water, just yell.
Ponderous will not fall.
All right.
For the rest of you, you do see Bo kind of coming out, and he has a wide assortment of different instruments and things. Some of them look like typical. Some of them look like typical sailing instruments. Other ones look a bit more intricate and magical. They spin, they glow, they kind of do different things like that. And he takes out some charts and kind of plots a course and does different things. Anytime he happens to be working and Nessa is in the area, he, just politely asks for her input, or if she knows anything about the areas around here or anything like that. Just in passing, just to make his presence known. Oh, hey, Nessa, I'm just working on the charts over here. I was wondering if maybe, you just a little insight. I've not sailed too much of these waters specifically. I'm more on, the southern side, but.
Well, so am I. I don't know anything about this.
Oh. So from the southern side of Heartland as well?
Yep.
Well, roundabouts.
Still trying to walk away without being too impolite.
Well, we'll catch up later. I've got some work to do as well.
Yep.
And you guys see this short dwarven lady that was walking around with no shoes on. And after a few days on the boat, notice why she's walking around with no shoes on. She seems to spend more of her time up in the ropes and rigging than anything else, and uses her feet to actually grab onto the ropes and things like that to steady herself. You actually see her like wind her toes around parts of the rope so she can keep her hands free while she's doing stuff. She does most of the raising and lowering of the mast herself, or the sails herself, and various different things. And in her spare time, she actually spends making and repairing ropes and stuff around the ship. Skyla probably ran into her once or twice as she was up in the crow's nest, and Dagny was up there working, near about. Anyone else? Anything particular you want to do while you're on the boat?
I'm gonna see if I can make some arrowheads.
Okay.
And I would like to
Out of
offer
what?
my I would like to offer my services. There's not much I can do, but I can mend. I can mend anything. If there are sails that mean mending, or clothes that need bending, or anything else that needs mending.
Oh my gosh.
I have not practiced this. No, that's not. I've not practiced this in a long time. So I'm very eager to help in any way I can.
We met the other day. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
Oh yes. Sorry. My name is Roland Devereaux.
Yep. And again, I'm Nessa. Thank you for your offer.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. So, do you sew or?
We see magic.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you just mend things, or?
I think it's been a long time since I've practiced magic, and I think it's best if I take it slow.
I think myself and Bribis will agree with you.
I don't know how long you are in the Emerald City, but
Sapphire City?
that's the one.
I was like,
The other gem.
What's Emerald? Is that?
That's
is
Wizard
that
of Oz.
Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz. Yep, that's it. From the Ruby City. Yeah. Yes, that is one. So, yes. Anyway, it's been a long time since I practiced. So, yes, if there's anything I can do to help, I want to be of some service to you.
As you guys are having this conversation, Ponderous actually walks up and says, "Practice on this," and he drops 2 pieces of a flute in your hand and walks off.
Then it's kind of a little bit nervously excited, kind of take it and kind of charge the area, and if there's nothing that stops me, just bring the pieces back together. Good as new.
Okay. So you guys see as there's this little bit of a kind of almost electrical charge that just whoosh back across the wood as the pieces and then just come together and seamless. There's no cracks, there's no nothing. Are you doing anything, holding it up, showing it or anything?
I think depending on how attentively they're watching my face rather than what I'm doing, they might see me kind of like being really nervous the whole time, and then like once it's done, being like, okay, yeah.
I meant to do that.
Yes.
After a little bit and you start celebrating, Ponderous walks back over and says, and he kind of picks up the flute and goes, practice again, and he drops it and walks off the other way.
This is much like the schools I went to as a youngster. So, so practice again, and hopefully I can provide some sort of service to you moving forward, and then continue practice. This time a little bit more confident on my face.
Yeah. Ponderous would probably enlist you after about once or twice more, making sure the flute was okay. Would probably enlist you. There are a wide assortment of very heavily used tools that Ponderous seems to need to have mended on a routine basis.
Cool.
He probably breaks a hammer handle about twice a day.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because it's a crappy handle.
It's a crappy hammer. You do actually see him using his hands and claws most times when he's doing stuff, but occasionally he does need a hand tool. So, bent crowbars, broken hammer handles, things like that. But other than that, you guys continue on for about 3 days, doing work on the ship, avoiding awkward encounters, and meeting new friends. It's about late night, early morning on the 3rd day, going into the 4th day. Everyone is turned in for the night. Everyone's quietly sleeping in their beds. Another storm is coming up on the horizon, and Bo had spent most of the 3rd day saying, yes, if we can get in front of this one, and talking about how the winds will push and things like that, and kind of slow and ominous sort of creaking. For the 3 of you, So Skylar, you're up in the crow's nest. That's where you sleep, or?
Yeah, that's where she sleeps. I sleep.
Okay, and Nessa, you sleep in the bunks downstairs, and Roland as well.
I guess I'm sleeping in Bo's room, aren't I? Isn't that what you arranged?
I tried
randomly?
to make it so that he wasn't he wasn't next to my room anymore, but it depends on if I take that seriously.
I forget.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you probably. So we'll say you took Bo's room, which was next to Nessa's room, and Bo has been resigned down further the hallway. Nessa and Roland, basically most of the crew, most of the half steps, have bunks that are closer towards the stairs leading up to the deck, and the crew has stuff that's further in, near like the bowels of the ship and stuff like that. And it's very late at night. Suddenly, and let me go ahead and see if I can just find something here, since we're not in the city night anymore. I know I have some ship sounds somewhere.
Ship sounds.
Ship sounds. What's this?
And it's just like Mercy and Farrah kissing noises.
Which sounds just like any other kissing noises.
Except there's a lot more rocket engines.
Old city, town. Little town. I have lots of towns.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, actually, that'll work nicely.
Rains from a
Justice reigns from. That one was worse than the first one.
Okay. And then.
Oh, it's freaking Jaws.
As you guys are sound asleep, open waters, the shore is probably a few miles off at this point in time. Suddenly, all three of you feel a lurching as the ship just underneath you gives way, and for lack of better term, just comes to a dead stop. As it does so, it's in the water from a full clip, sails at full mast. Skyla almost pitched out. All three of you, I need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
We.
At disadvantage because you're sleeping too, by the way.
Oh, good. I mean,
Well, actually, Roland did pretty well.
Good job, Roland.
And Skyla.
Skyla!
She has a +5. She better.
So
But I mean,
Skyla
even at
has it
disadvantage.
the worst of all, being up at the top. You feel the whole entire ship just kind of pitch from forward to back. You all pitch out of your side. Roland, you manage to, at the last second, reach over at like almost in a dead sleep, almost reactionary, just grab onto the cot as the whole entire ship pitches and the ceiling becomes the wall for half of a second. Almost to the point that the ship is like dipping into the water. Skyla, you see the sky, the night sky above you, as it dips down, and you can actually see the horizon out of the top of the crow's nest. You manage to brace yourself on the sides as it pitches back into place. A huge wave coming off the bow as it dug into the waves in front of it lifts spray water up over the top. You get a little bit soaked. Nessa, out of a dead sleep, you just get pitched up out of your bed, slam into the ceiling that is now the wall, and as the boat pitches back, you fall and slide down and land flat on your back as you basically like roll out. As you guys are doing this, as this is all happening, you hear a muttered kind of let me just roll. Yeah, okay. You hear a muttered sound outside as you hear footsteps and a rough voice that you don't recognize say, "Too soon! Too soon!" Roland, the door to your cabin kicks open, the door splinters open, and you see someone there crouched in a grayish, kind of ashen cloak and a dagger that is sticking out towards you with a bit of a hint of almost like smoke coming off of it.
Okay.
As your eyes adjust kind of clearly. He's coming in. You're on your bed and not necessarily knocked prone, so to speak, but as he rushes in towards you. I need everyone to just go ahead and give me an initiative roll. And flip the track.
Sure. I don't have a token. I just realized.
Yep, you don't. But we can just.
Can you assign Alaric's token to me for now?
Yeah. I have the wrong thing now. Layer advanced. Oh, you mean add it to your sheet?
Yeah, add it to my sheet so I can like roll initiative off of it.
It's been a while since I've done that. Okay, represents the rolling starts with an R. Oh god, there's so.
Oh geez, yeah, I didn't think about that. They really need to have like a word type to auto complete.
Yeah,
that search instead of just like a drop down.
Oops.
How these guys getting our mother derping ship? By the way, don't know how long I'm going to do this accent.
I love it so far.
I tried to pick one that I'm really terrible at, so I can practice.
I love it.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Is it assigned?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get the HP update. Looks like it's still. I can. Well, anyway, I can. Maybe I'll just try rolling initiative off of it and be fine. If I knew where initiative is, there it is. Is that right?
Why do I have? Oh, okay. I know why I have to do that. Yeah, that's dumb. I have to like drag things over. I was not expecting. Yeah, I know it's the worst. Okay. Okay.
It's
Alright.
not the initiative that I wanted. I'm going to die. Goodbye.
Okay. Nessa, you are flat on your back, kind of pitched to the side. I'm assuming not wearing any armor.
Yeah, no, I already unclicked it.
Weapons are within reach, kind of disheveled, thrown about all over the place. You also have your packed weapons, so that's not as much of an issue. You would have to use half your movement to get up out of the position on the floor, but you did hear from a room nearby this yelling and the shouting and the crash of a door being busted open.
Yeah, technically I'm 13 and the Ashen is 17, so I think the Ashen is
Also, I have
17.
skirmisher stealth, but I don't know if I heard anything.
The ship pitching forward would happen. They technically got a surprise round. Why is this not showing up?
What?
Oh, because of I had it behind stuff. I'm trying to find the initiative stuff, and it's buried underneath everything. That's why I didn't. Okay. So roll in. Let's see. I'm just gonna roll these hidden because it's not exactly on the sheet correctly.
I do have I'll just say it, I do have the shield thing. Should I know the roll or should I not roll should I cast shield blindly or should I know the roll?
I'll tell you if it hits or not, and you can decide to use a reaction if you want.
Okay.
So, I'll tell you what the roll is, and then you can, if it hits, I think is how shield works. You get to decide if you want to use it or not.
Cool. That was just checking.
Yeah. So this kind of crouched figure in this ashen kind of cloak flashes, he sees you sitting up on the bed, turning towards him, and takes a step for you. As he does, you see the form kind of and fade in and out as it does so, and suddenly it's standing right in front of you. You kind of get this whiff of almost like a campfire smell as it into air in front of you, comes down with a dagger overhand. Rolled a 15 to hit.
Oh, then yes, I will do shield,
Okay.
Which will bump up my AC to 17.
Okay. As it brings it down to hit, you kind of cast your hand up, almost reactionary. Go ahead and cast the shield.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. And then let me just, because I forgot to pull up the table.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was.
Great. I will go down with this ship.
Alicia Jueni? It could, if
If
there
it's
were
fire, Bribus is gonna be so
Heavens.
bad.
Oh no, more Bribus!
He's gonna be livid.
We
So,
promised him
if
no
I remember
fire.
correctly, you roll, right?
If you want me to, yes.
Well, because you
Or do I
cast
do
the
it after every
spell.
single time?
Everything
I
that's
think-
not a cantrip.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Then-
So you roll. What is it? A 1d20.
Okay. That wasn't a 1.
Yeah, I believe that's it. And unless you use your Tides of Chaos,
Correct.
you're fine. If you want to look that up real quick and just make sure we're not.
Yeah,
doing
I think that's right.
Okay.
I don't have my book.
So you watch as this kind of cloaked figure brings this down. You almost reactionary, without even thinking about it, cast this shield up. This kind of shimmering wall of force appears in front of you at the last second as the dagger just off to the side. He comes back almost ridiculously fast and comes back with another slash. And roll one more time. So that would be a 25 to hit.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm glad I did it on the first one.
Well,
Okay.
it stays for the whole round anyway.
Does it? Oh, well, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
it
that.
stays.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It stays
Good to know.
until the start of your next turn.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I did that.
So you're not gonna take. You're not. Okay. So it's going to be.
This could be a very quick cameo.
Oh my god, that's awful.
All right. You're going to take 7 points of piercing damage, and as this dagger digs in and the shield just holds for a second and shatters in, it digs in through the cloak, and you feel it kind of bite into like the side of you, the ribs. It doesn't feel like it dug too deeply, and then this kind of intense burning sensation starts building up.
There it
I'm going to
is.
need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Cool.
You feel as this kind of poison begins to just like seep through, and you take 24 points of poison damage.
Okay. Cool.
And then you hear more moving. It sounds like at least one other person running up from the back of the ship. And that will bring us to Niesa.
Okay, as quickly as I can, I'm going to grab my cloak and throw it on, and the belt of not drowning. If I took that off, I don't know if I did. Probably
Okay.
not, because I'm on a boat. And then I'm
Okay.
going to grab my packed weapon
Mm-hmm.
and run to the room next door.
Okay, as you come in, you see coming down the hall towards you. As you get to the room next door, you can see that the door is broken and kind of sagging in the hinges. And you see coming out of all of the doors. Well, it's dark. So, are you doing anything to light it up? It's going to be like low light.
Right.
Because it's not like pitch black. There's a small lantern that's hanging somewhere. But
Okay. Probably as soon as I hit the wall, I panicked and started glowing.
okay, yeah. So
So-
you start glowing. So as you come around, you come out glowing. You can see, and what you see is the door next to you is kind of broken open and just like shattered, hanging in the hinges. You hear something going on in there. All of the doors in the entire hallway are open and not broken into. They look like they were either unlocked or quietly opened. And out of one of the rooms further back, you see a cloaked figure wearing kind of an ashen cloak moving very quickly down the hallway towards you.
I swear.
Okay.
And then, coming towards me, eh? Okay, I'm still gonna go into the room next to me because they're not immediately threatening me, and the person in the room next to me is being immediately threatened.
Okay, so as you go in, you round the corner and you see this last dagger strike kind of break through this magical barrier and stab into him, and you see this almost tuft of smoke come off of the wound as the dagger strikes true.
Okay, so did starting to glow count as my action for this round, or would it be like before initiative
I'll
started?
say no, like in a panic as you were pitched out of bed.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt to stab the person in the back from 10 feet away, whatever.
Okay.
Stab the person stabbing Roland.
Okay. As you bring your weapon down to bear, almost incredibly fast, the cloaked figure pulls the dagger up, just tips the blade out of the way, and takes a step back. And as he does, you see as the form kind of shifts in and out, and another kind of like little bit of a puff of smoke. And again, you get that kind of hint of ash or soot, that smell that kind of creeps up.
Okay,
And
well,
you've already used your reaction. That's
have.
what you're gonna ask. Yeah.
I have.
Well, I'm gonna try to hit him again because I get 2 attacks.
Okay. The second time, as he comes into, basically as he kind of snaps back in, that kind of blurred effect that takes place, snaps back in, you kind of anticipate where he's going to be and drop the glaive down, and you cut open a huge gash on the front of him. And you definitely see, like, begins to kind of like cough and bleed a little bit.
Okay. And then I'm gonna try and uppercut him with the backside of the blade. Dang it.
And he definitely moves out of the way again.
Man. Okay. And then I will just move myself in front of Roland.
Okay. You guys are all basically in like a prison cell-sized room, so there's
great.
not too much. Roland's basically up on the bed, like sitting there.
Okay. Is there
Bleeding there.
So how big is this room? Like, could I get the person like 15 feet away from me?
If you were in the hallway, but then you'd
Dang.
kind of be like attacking at cover almost because of the door.
Well, okay. I was gonna try and be strategic, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that will bring us to Roland.
Oh, okay. So I see one person that just stabbed me, and that Nessa also hit. Is there someone else that I saw that you mentioned?
You haven't seen someone outside, but
I
you
just
hear
heard
someone
steps.
else, and you did hear them talking to each other.
Okay. Okay. So, in a panic, Roland's going to use Quicken spell and do mirror image.
Okay.
And then for his action, he's going to shocking grasp. Actually, hold on a second. Let me see the difference between these two. Yep, I'm gonna shocking grasp. Sorry.
Okay.
And no, I'm not gonna do that yet.
You're gonna do Tides of Chaos?
Not yet. We'll
Okay.
just. I should have, but not that.
I mean,
four
I
lightning
think
damage
you
would have made that
can.
much. Can I after I roll?
Tides of Chaos gives you advantage.
Yep. All right. Why not? We'll do it.
Okay, so Tides of Chaos. So roll the D20 for the first one.
All right.
Sir, if you set me on fire.
He will.
Set you
Okay.
on fire.
Oh.
As you cast Mirror Image, Nessa, you see Roland on the bed kind of make a slight motion with his hand, and all of a sudden there are 3 Rolands around the room, almost kind of shimmering and popping in and out of place on the bed, standing next to the guy. It's very tight and cramped, so they're almost elbow to elbow, but it's very hard to see what's exactly going on. And at the last second, you see as they all kind of reach out, and one of their hands grabs onto this individual, and this pulse of electricity just as he just tightens up, and lightning kind of just courses over the whole body. Roland, as you're doing this, you you cast the shield, and it's been a while, and again, it's almost reactionary. You're almost just not even thinking about it. As you cast the shield, you feel that kind of familiar little bit of a just loss of control almost breach the surface. Oops. And you cast the mirror image, and you feel it again kind of tugging at you, and you dig down deep, and you just will your magic to just grasp onto this person, and you feel your control on it slip just a little bit further. You kind of have that feel, it's bubbling up underneath the surface. You're not exactly sure, but it's coming soon, and you're in a very cramped room.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. Is there a window? And if it's a window, is it barred?
There would be
like a
small portholes, very small portholes.
I'm 5'2", weigh about 104 pounds.
It's bolted.
Is it still
on.
Too small? Okay.
It's a porthole to see out of, but it's not like an opening.
Okay. Cool.
They don't have very good, waterproof seals.
Cool. So the real me is gonna kind of like a little bit behind Nessa, while the others are kind of like also cowering in their different ways.
Okay, are you moving out of the room, or?
I did shock and grasp it. I could run out. I probably should. It's a good idea for next round. so I'm gonna book it. I'm just gonna try to head out, as fast as I can towards we're next to the stairs, you said, but I don't know how far up the stairs I can get. But I'm moving towards the deck. That's my ultimate goal. Okay, so you bolt past Nessa. Nessa, you see as these four, I guess, because there's 3 duplicates, right? As these 4 copies of Roland begin to just bolt out of the room, kind of tossing things up in the air as they go. They all seem to just around the side of you and out the door, and you hear steps going up to up the stairs behind you, and you hear this individual that's down the way, like, hey, calling up after you, Roland. No.
That's the other Ashen Way person that you see coming down the hallway.
Okay, in front of me or behind me as I'm running? Okay.
Behind you. Further into the ship, and you're heading towards the deck.
Oh, dang, where'd they come? Oh, they were sleeper agents then. They were already in the ship.
That'll bring us to Skyla, who is up in the crow's nest. And you hear shouting and yelling and magic being cast down below the ship, and a bit of a flash of energy off of one of the sides of the ship out of one of the portholes.
All right. So I'm going to hop on my carpet and zoom down and get as close as I can.
Okay, so you're going down to the stairs, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the speed of the carpet?
60 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say, just for the sake of this, that Skyla, you basically bolt over the side and free fall, and then at the last second kind of pull the carpet out and call it into call its magic control word and eliminate most of the movement required and get to the stairwell to where the door is barred. It's not barred, but it's there blocking the way. And you hear someone coming up the stairs towards you. Did you want to get off the carpet, open the door? What did you want to do? You probably couldn't maneuver inside.
Yeah. I'm just gonna... Can I stay on my carpet and open the door?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'd rather do that.
Okay, so you've probably used about half of the movement, so you probably still have another 30 feet that you could back up or go higher after you open the door.
Okay. Well, once the door's open, what am I seeing?
The stairs kind of go down and then turn, and you hear someone coming up the stairs towards you. You don't see anything just yet. It's also fairly dark down there. You see some light coming from below deck, but not much.
In that case, I'm going to get off and run in.
Okay, so you get off and run in. As you round the corner, you see Roland, 4 Rolands running up the stairs towards you as there is light and kind of fighting and attacking going on in one of the rooms with a broken door, and you see someone wearing one of the gray ashen cloaks kind of running up the hallway towards you and where Roland is. Roland, as you see Skyla kind of come down, did you want to say anything to her? You're muted, by the way.
Thank you. Do I recognize them? Do I know what's going on?
Yeah, you reckon? Oh, the Ashen Way.
Yeah. What do I know about them? Or would I just say like?
What would you know? Knowing as a player what they are in Sapphire City, yeah. They're not like they haven't been there forever, but they're established enough to make a presence. Would your time in Sapphire City have lent you to be aware of that sort of life?
I think depends. Well, all right. So I'm gonna throw this back at you a little bit. It depends on how involved they are in what's going on. Because I would say like without knowing that answer, I do think that I would have like an overall idea of them, but maybe not like so much knowledge that I would recognize the tactics being used. Like I would know that they're an organization and they do things. I would have like kind of like an overall view, and I think I would know that before I even got to the city. But if
one
they're
of
like
one of the telltale signs of them is the cloaks, and their use as like they're very unique as a thieves guild because of the amount of magic items that they have access to and use. So those are things that you would know.
So yeah, well, and also we just came from there, so I could probably put 2 and 2 together. So I'll call them and say, it is the agents of the Ashen Way. And I don't know what that accent was, but we'll figure it out later in post. We'll fix it.
So you see 4 Rolands coming up the stairs towards you, and he informs you that the Ashen Way is after him. And you do see behind him this figure kind of like popping in and out, almost kind of like smoke drifting down the hallway, but every now and then broken up by a body that you can actually see. It's very difficult to track.
All right, so for now, I am going to where is it?
Shoot Roland with an arrow.
Well, does Roland look okay? Does he look? Can I tell that he's wounded?
Yeah, I think all 4 of them are bleeding pretty heavily.
His face is kind of drawn in. Looks very pained, holding the side. And yeah, there are 4 of them. They're all doing the same thing. So it's, and you can see this kind of just like pained look on his face as like something's leaching out of him almost. He's on his last leg.
All right, I'm going to give him some temporary hit points as he's looking kind of rough. And then just
yeah, I'll see.
Do I have any movement left? I'm assuming no.
Yeah, you what's your actual movement speed?
30.
Okay, so you'd have like 10 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get back up.
Or no, wait, sorry, you went inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you went inside. No, that was the end of your movement to kind of go down the stairs. Sorry, I thought you were still at the door. No, you went inside. The rest of the 10 feet of your movement was going down the stairs and kind of meeting Roland on the landing, so to speak.
All right, then in that case, I'm done.
Was that an action or a bonus action?
I can't remember if my stuff is a bonus or...
I think it's to do that. So you still have an action.
Can I ready my action?
Yeah, if you want.
All right. If anyone that doesn't look like anyone that I know comes near enough, I want to whack them with my war pick.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. With that, we will go to the Ashen Way. Inside the room, the individual kind of reeling from this lightning strike that was unleashed on him sees you standing there, Nyessa. The dagger that you saw that was kind of like emanating smoke looks like it has some blood that's glistening off of it. Go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Perception. Come on, click it. Click it. Click.
All right. As he kind of is moving too fast, you don't really get too much of a good look, other than you do see that there's blood dripping off it, and you think that he probably got rolling fairly well. The individual rushes forward and takes a swipe at you with the dagger.
Eek.
Okay. Does does a 24 hit with no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes, it does.
It does.
It does.
Yo, it does.
Okay. You are going to take 9 points of piercing damage.
Yowza.
And 26 points. Just kidding. You get con
I was
saves.
like, excuse me?
Excuse.
Can't even
Pardon-moi.
see
Pardon-moi.
Where's Nessa's token at? Is it even on the front page?
Yes, it is. It's over
Did you
here.
hide it?
It's over
Is it
here.
the-
She's
Oh,
by her
is-
hometown, okay?
I got
Is
you.
that where you're from?
Okay.
You never showed me.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right here.
Okay. As you're doing
That's
this, you
what
hear.
No. Oh, gosh.
As you're doing that. Oh, sorry. And then it takes actually another swing.
Oh, yeah. Am I supposed to save?
Not that you know.
that's
19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ouch.
You will take 7 points of piercing damage as faster than you expected. He kind of, and again, it almost looks like Nightcrawler moving. It's just like,
That's really cool. Ow.
as you take these two stabs, one side and then the other, and you hear behind you the other individual rush in.
Great.
Almost sounded like they were going to keep running past, and then sees the two of you fighting. And you turn and look over your head as you see another one coming in, smoke kind of billowing off the dagger as it rushes in after you.
Great.
Oh, so they're both going towards Nessa now?
You see them duck into the room with advantage.
Well, I was on that target. Or maybe they're just trying to take you out.
They're probably just trying to kill all of us, yeah.
Okay, 25 to hit.
Ouch! Yep.
Okay, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Boop. Hey.
Okay.
Hey!
You feel the other
How much-
person. Go ahead.
How much damage did I take? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it in just a second.
Okay,
So the other
sorry.
person rushes in behind you and takes a quick opportunity to, as you're distracted with the other individual, come up and catch you unaware. As
Ow.
it stabs in, gets a solid hit, and you feel this kind of burning sensation. You kind of dig down deep, and that light pulses within you, and you feel it kind of burn whatever was coursing out of the dagger off. You are going to take.
You're gonna take a kidney stab and you are bleeding out.
16 points of piercing damage as he goes for another attack.
That hurts. Real bad. Okay, cool.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh no. Okay, so 11. So 17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving.
Okay.
Wait, are you not in your armor?
Hey!
Because
No,
you're not in your armor.
I was asleep.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage, as again you kind of feel this poison starting to course off of this dagger and into you, and you just burn it out. And that is their turn, as those of you on the stairs see them standing and crowding into the room where Nessa is.
All of them?
Both of them.
Both of them, Tim?
Nessa, your turn.
Okay, so after the poison, I like knock his hand away and flip him off really quick.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Armor of the Pyre on myself, and I light on fire with spectral flames.
And you hear off in the distance.
No fire!
It doesn't actually light anything on fire, Bribis, except for people. And then
If only Bribis were alive to see this now.
what? And then I'm just going to circle the room and just kind of try and basically get their attention.
Okay, well, it's
while-
not much to circle, but you can...
Well, just like circle them so I don't get out of their range is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. You can maybe like step up onto the bunk and see both of them, but one of them is basically stepping over the doorway and the other one's up against the wall in the porthole, and that's maybe 8 to 10 feet across at most. So you're all kind of elbow to elbow.
Okay. I'm actually going to move in front of the doorway then, basically kind of get them inside with just me, if I can.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you could do that. You kind of just like shove yourself back up against the broken door as this other one moves into the room with you.
Okay. And then I'm going to, while I'm positioning myself, gonna take a quick breather.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta add that real quick. Hold on. Oh, also I have 15 temporary hit points. Where do I put those? 15. I don't know what to. I'm gonna put them here. That doesn't do anything. Okay. That was my action and my bonus action. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna wait patiently and strategically. The end.
Okay. All right. Roland.
Okay. So I'm conflicted because I feel that there's a part of me that knows that maybe I should get away, but this poor person risked their life for me, and I hear screams of pain.
Screams.
Well, it's just kind of more kind of like grunts of okays. And so can you tell me what I see from where I'm at, and then like if I move back, like, or they're both in the room and I just see an empty hallway right now? Is that accurate?
You see light pouring out of the room. You see different shadows in there, and you can probably see the back end. Like Nessa's like got 1 foot, and the like back half of her pole arm is like in the hallway. So she's kind of like backing into the hallway, and they've like circled around into the room.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm going to race back down there, and I am going to. Should I do damage, or should I do? I'm gonna cast web on him. Don't. Oh, I'm talking to myself. Let me.
Okay.
And trying to avoid Nessa, but like trying to like get the whole room like blanketed in this stuff.
I'm gonna say because it's a 20-foot just cube. Give me an Arcana check, Roland,
to know if
try
this
and...
is a terrible idea.
No. We'll just say to try and avoid overdoing.
If you restrain me, okay. Whew.
Okay, so you kind of dig down deep, and as the magic is like kind of getting out of control and filling the room, and you know that normally it just unleashes a torrent, you kind of will it to just shut off at the last second. And you fill up the whole room, and Nessa, you see as this webbing, like, kind of just magically comes into place and fills the room and falls just barely short of the doorway that you're standing in. So they are now... it's basically just like this... Well, okay, there's not going to be much, but I'll roll a save for them just in case. Okay, yeah, so 7.
So they're restrained.
Oh, no, well, 10, sorry, but yeah. So they're both restrained, which means that they can't do anything, right?
Not until they're. I mean, they can try to break free in their turn, but currently.
0 can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have a disadvantage. The creature has advantage on dexterity saving throws. Okay. All right.
Wait, it has advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. And then I doubt I have movement left, but I'm gonna. So I'm like, okay, bye.
Go ahead and roll a d20, and you'll probably want to put an attacher into the sheet eventually, but that's fine.
Ooh. Okay.
I saw that one. I saw
it too.
Okay. Yeah, as you're letting this go, you kind of feel that just like welling up inside of you still. Anything else, or you're using the rest of your movement to bolt? You said.
I'm just gonna use the rest of my movement to bolt, and then like as I'm running and like say again to Skyla, I'm like they're in there, like you got them.
So Nessa and Roland, go ahead and give me perception checks.
Oh god, I'm bad at these. I specifically chose a character to be bad at them. No, I didn't.
What?
No, I did, but and I am. But I get proficiency as an elf, which doesn't fit my. But I get disadvantage if it's brightness.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Great. Cool.
So
you mean like when I'm bright and shiny?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, it's so bright and shiny.
Yeah, you played a sunlight sensitivity in a party with people from the light realm.
I know, that's why. Do you notice the change though? Like Alaric.
Yeah.
I gotta get him out before this one comes in.
So Nessa, as you're looking at these two, and they kind of just get like stuck up in these webs, and they're kind of pulling against them tight. You notice. You kind of have a second to look them over. In each of their hands is the same kind of black-looking. It's like almost looks like burnt metal dagger. The one that attacked originally is not smoking anymore. The second one is still kind of pouring smoke off of it a little bit. They each also have something in their other hand that you didn't notice before. One of them has. It's clutching what looks like a necklace of some kind, and hanging from the necklace is a small feather medallion, kind of just clutching out of the bottom of his hand. That's the one that ran into the room second. The other one has what looks like a potion bottle that has a cork over the top of it. And inside is kind of a blackish blue, swirling and kind of smoky liquid.
Cool.
That'll bring us to Skyla's turn. As you see Roland go down the stairs and then turn around and start running the other direction.
All right. I'm gonna run as far in as I can go.
Okay, so you run past Roland and you get behind Nessa, and you can see into the room, but between Nessa and the broken doorway and the wall and the webbing and everything like that, you can see them, but they probably have some form of cover from you.
Can I duck?
Alright, then...
Like we practiced, Skyla. Just shoot under my arm.
just hold out the flat of your blade, and she like ricochets her arrow off of it.
Can I do something
Get around the
like
corners.
under her arm?
I'm holding my pole arm, so
You can shoot at them. I'm just letting you know, unless you have sharpshooter or something.
No, I'm
They
not. I didn't bring my bow. I have my war pick. Oh wait.
Oh.
Then I probably wouldn't have this thing. Never mind. I didn't bring all my stuff. My plan does not work. Another time. I'm just gonna hold my action again, and if any of them get past Nessa, I'm gonna whack them one.
Okay.
Go.
That'll bring it to their turn. Let me just. They can try and break for you, said.
Yeah, it takes their action to do a strength check.
Okay, natural 1.
Hey.
As they both try and just pull and fight against this, you see one of them kind of look at the other, Nessa and Skyla, and nod as the one with the potion bottle drops it and starts digging into like trying to reach into one of his pouches. Potion bottle, room full of webbing. 20.
They're flammable.
Oh, great. Is that alchemical fire? Great.
The webbing is flammable.
Okay. As the potion bottle drops to the ground, it hits a piece of the web and then kind of like slides down and hits the floor and breaks open. And you see this kind of bluish black fumes start to fill up the room. As it kind of like fills the space fairly quickly, Nessa and Skyla, give me a perception check real quick. Okay.
I am a literal lighthouse and I can see nothing.
Nessa, you are a bit distracted just kind of looking down at the bottle. Skyla, you're kind of looking for a spot to like attack them at. You hear the glass break, but you don't see the bottle. But what you do see is both of the people that are now kind of stuck, and now that they're not able to move, they're not as blurry and kind of popping in and out of existence. You see their faces. One of their eyes goes kind of wide, and both of them go really quickly.
Right.
Oh, good.
As
Skyla's gonna be great.
yeah, as one of them reaches into his pouch, grabs something in his hand, and looks at Nessa for a second, and you see a little bit of and crushes it, and there's as the person's gone out of the webbing. The other one begins struggling and reaching in again, and grabs something out of their pouch as well, still clutching onto the feather token, still holding the breath, clutches it, and with a flash of fire, gone, and the webbing just kind of limps slack into the room. I need Nessa and Skyla to roll a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. Skyla, because you noticed, you can actually use your unending breath, so you don't have to actually.
Okay.
Really,
Okay.
Nessa?
Nessa, as you are standing there looking at the place where they go, you kind of, what?
Oh, good.
And fall face first onto the floor next to this bottle. It begins to kind of just like fill up the whole entire room and creep around the door and fill up the hallway and starts creeping up towards the stairwell where Roland is. Nessa, you're passed out. Roland, it's your turn. I'll give you a perception check to see if you notice the cloud kind of just like coming out.
Sure.
Because you were running the other direction, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you hear this kind of like and this slump, this glass breaking, and this bit of a hissing noise. As you turn around, you see this cloud of like bluish black noxious smoke kind of creeping out and just swarms over Skyla, who you almost can't even see in it, as it starts puking up the stairs towards you.
Okay. I flip my goggles down and pull like thing over my mouth, and I rush in and try to pull them out.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving.
Okay.
I will say, had time to prepare. Are you actively holding your breath?
I would, yeah. Just
Okay. All right. Having had time to prep for it and holding your breath, I'll say you go in there. It's pitch black. You can't see. It's like obscuring everything. You kind of like stumble in. You know where Skyla is. You can kind of run into her. As you come around the corner of the room, you see just a very faint glow on the floor in front of you, where you saw Nessa standing before.
Okay.
But you can't really see anything else.
Okay. I kind of reach out with a hand, and I probably, I don't know if I touch anyone, but if I touch Skylar, I would know that she's standing upright anyway. And then I would kind of reach down for, I guess, Nessa and try to tug her out, even though she's probably like
Twice your size.
almost twice my size. So I'll start.
Go ahead and give me
I'm 5'7".
athletics check.
I'm 5'2".
I'm 5'8".
But I'm
Oh, Skylar's taller than me. That's so cute.
Is the
You're
armor?
like 120 pounds though.
Yeah,
Nessa,
that's about
is
right.
your armor? Is that concentration?
Armor of the pirate. Let me see.
Because I don't.
It is
that's-
not. It just lasts an hour.
Okay. So you reach down and grab a burning. Right? I mean, it's a.
You have to hit me with a melee attack. Yeah.
So
I
grabbing.
don't know if
onto
grabbing
her-
counts as a melee attack.
As
but
you
probably.
get close, you you
fine.
feel this kind of like heat pouring off of the body that you think is near. Do you want to keep grabbing at her or no?
Yeah, because I don't know. This is just sleepy time. I think this is dead time. So
Oh.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
for it.
Okay, so you reach down and grab her. As you do, you kind of feel this like intense burning just like lash out and kind of sear your hands.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you're not gonna take the full damage because you're not like actively. It's not like lashing out to attack her. So you'll take like 2 points of fire damage because you're kind of just grabbing her.
In the interest of fairness, it would be 15 is the flat damage that you would take. So I don't know if that
Yeah,
factors
but
in.
it's,
cool.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I read that part.
Okay, good.
Um,
Just checking. Okay.
I'll just get rid of I'll get rid of all my temp HP. And I'll take 2 off my main
Okay.
health.
You
So it's like half
grab
damage.
onto her. Yeah, you grab onto her and you begin kind of like dragging her out. It's kind of awkward. You're basically like grabbing at her feet and begin pulling her, and it's slow. You're moving at like 5 feet at this point. You kind of pull her out of the doorway, but at this point, this fume has spread and is pouring up onto the deck, through the stairwell, through everything. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of initiative. No. We're gonna go ahead and get out of initiative now. But what do you
Okay.
guys want to do? Skyla, what are you doing?
Skyla is going to call upon Fox.
Okay.
And have him carry both Nessa and Roland out while she
okay.
tags behind.
Thank you.
Okay, so you
Thank
call
you.
upon Fox. Roland, you kind of hear this almost like distant roaring sound as this spectral bear picks you up out of the mist, glowing next to you, and kind of like grabs you and Nessa in like one arm and begins just like moving up the stairwell. As this is going on, you're getting jostled. You're holding on to your breath. You just got burned. You're down on your last bit. Fox kind of rushes up the stairs and drops you out onto the deck of the ship. And as he does so, you take in that first gust of air. You see this black smoke coming, and you lose it. You've been holding on to it. You can't do it anymore.
Okay.
And the magic just wells up inside of you, and you feel it.
Okay.
So you go ahead and play that out however you want, but go ahead and roll me a D100.
All right.
65 on the new magic table that I wrote. So shooting ourselves in our own feet here. Ooh.
Don't make that noise.
No, why?
Don't do
no.
that.
Oh, no, actually. This would have been better had they still been here. Up to 3 creatures you choose within 30 feet of you take 4d10 lightning damage. But it is your choice. So this lightning energy, as you're sitting there, it you kind of drop down onto your knees and you just feel it. And Skylar, you said you're running up after them?
Now that I think she would have started to go and then realized that there might be other people on the ship still and go back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Shoot the
roll in.
fishes.
No one sees you, but this you fall down onto your knees. Fox is still up there. Nessa is passed out next to you, still aglow, and this electrical energy just off of you. It starts lashing out. It's building up. This charge is just generating and generating, and you need to unleash it, but it's your choice. You feel like you have enough control of your facilities to direct it wherever you want. It doesn't have to be at someone.
Does it say up to 3?
Up to 3 creatures you choose.
I will choose myself, and I'll take.
Well, you can blast it out into nothingness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's your choice. It doesn't have to be. This is
Would
a
I know
beneficial
that I
thing.
can do discharge it?
Yeah, you basically have
Okay.
to get rid of it, and you.
Okay.
I'll say it this way: you know that this energy is building up, and you have to unleash it, and you have a half-second thought of, "I really wish that they were still here," as
Okay,
you
yeah.
kind of like look out into the ocean or
So
wherever.
yeah,
you-
I would probably just assuming there's not like sails right above my head, just like just going into the sky, just kind of.
Okay, so straight up like Highlander style.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
like
Just
drop down your knees and
There
just
can only
like-
be one.
As this energy just kind of like lashes out of you, the storm clouds now rolling in overhead, you reach out to them and you feel yourself just unleash this charge as it strikes up, hits the clouds, and just rolls out. Skyla, the only one awake on the boat at this point, here up above, this just torrent of magical energy rend through the air. This like it sounds like a thunderstorm just opened up on deck as it's just rumbling off into the distance.
I think probably flavor-wise, with like trying to exert myself in that gas and coming out here, and with that expulsion, probably I'd pass out at this point.
Okay,
Just kind of
that's
like
fair.
just fall over, like either from the gas or from the exertion, something just
Yeah.
kind of.
That's fair. So as this energy kind of unleashes you, not used to this experience, you pass out.
Yeah.
Okay. Skyla, you are below deck, alone. Everything is covered in just black, viscous smoke. What do you want to do?
I only have Fox for a minute, but if I can like whistle for him to come towards me, and I'm just gonna like hands on the wall, try to find doors, try to find people, see if I can get, because the smoke is billowing through, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like just filling up. It's heading up towards the deck, slowly like moving, but it kind of like rolled through and filled the whole space.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure.
The potion bottle was mostly full still.
Okay, so I just want to make sure if there's anyone else around, if they're okay, if I need to bring them up.
Okay. You get to as you get to each of the rooms, Kaylee, Corin, Ponderous, Bo, Bribis, everyone is in their bed, seemingly passed out unconscious. You can't. It's difficult to tell. Go ahead and make a medicine check at disadvantage if you want, because you're proficient in medicine, right?
No.
Oh well. Go ahead and make a medicine check anyways. Nope. You can't tell. You hear breathing, so you assume that each of them are alive, but all of them are not moving. It sounds like some of them are snoring. It sounds like they're just asleep, passed out. You think maybe whatever this is either affected them before or after the fight broke out.
Okay. If I can see the black smoke in the rooms. Oh, I forgot I have my carpet too. If I see the black smoke in the rooms, I'm going to, between Fox and the carpet, haul them out to the deck. If I can't see any smoke, I'm going to leave them be for now and check back on them.
Okay, so I'll say for the next minute, and you can call Fox because it's like a spiritual connection, so he just does what you want. Um, Between you and Fox, you manage to drag out over. Fox helps you for the next minute or so, but for the next probably a good 10, 15 minutes, you spend one by one pulling people up onto the deck until you find every one of the crew, all of the hired hands, Bo, Bribis, Dagny, Ponderous. You have Fox help you with Ponderous first. Kaylee, Corin, all of them up on deck, and you realize as there's still this smoke pouring out of below deck that you are the only one awake on the ship. The ship that is stuck in place in the ocean. The sails still at full tilt, straining against the wind, and the boat not moving an inch. Storm clouds rolling in on the distance.
Great. Cool. Okay.
And
Gosh.
and one last thing is you find one of the able-bodied sailors, the ones that you guys hired, just kind of like the nameless soldier types, asleep at the door leading down to the storeroom, and you know that this is the person that Bribis put on basically like steering duty for the night, so to speak. What do you call it? Captaining, or not captaining, but piloting the ship. Helm duty. Yeah, helm duty for the night while everyone was sleeping.
Okay. The first thing I'm gonna do is try to wake up Kaylee. Art might know what to do.
Okay. How do you want to wake Kaylee up?
Like splash some water in her face, shake her, maybe a light slapping.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm on my own. This is weird. I'm scared. Okay. All right. First things first. I'm going to get on my carpet, fly down to the water, and dive in to try and figure out what's blocking the ship.
Okay. As you head down to the bottom, are you leaving anything to climb back up, or just leaving the carpet there? The waves are coming up. The storm's rolling in. It's pretty choppy water right now.
I guess, actually, I'm not gonna take the carpet. I'm just gonna jump in because I can levitate back up.
Okay. All right. So you dive down. It's pitch black.
Fetch. I don't have any light. Frick. Okay.
You can do this, Scala.
I'm gonna waste a levitate. This is gonna suck so bad. Alright.
No, it's not waste.
Going to levitate back up. Go to my stuff. Use my night vision goop, my last charge. My last use.
Okay.
So that I can see, and then jump back down, but bring the carpet with me this time because I can't levitate back up. Or I'll just tie a rope. I don't want to bring the carpet.
Okay. So you get the night vision goop. Let's just say this. Realizing how pitch black dark it is that you can barely see, you get the night vision goop before you jump in. You go ahead and take it. You feel your tongue and your throat swell up as your eyes kind of open up and take in the night around you. You kind of look over the edge of the boat. You don't see anything holding the boat in place. You climb down the rope and kind of peer underneath the water. It's murky. It burns your eyes. Just swimming around. Go ahead and give me an athletics check to just see how long this takes. Okay, so you take the better part of like 30 minutes investigating underneath the boat, swimming around, looking for anything. You can't find anything attached to the boat whatsoever.
Must deduce that it's magical. Skyla knows nothing about magic. Rick.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Oh, I'm so scared.
No, don't be scared. You're doing great. Keep it up.
All right.
It's okay. I'm only on fire.
For about an hour.
Yeah. We're almost to the point where you'll just go out. Frick. Everyone's asleep. No one can be woken. Magic is holding the ship. And by myself, the storm's rolling in. Okay. I don't know.
Beep, beep, beep.
Can I phone a friend?
Vander? Hey, bro.
So what do you want to do, Skylar? You want to wait it out? No?
I don't know. God, I don't want everyone out because there's a storm coming and I don't want people getting tipped off the ship. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
What kind of items do you have? Because I feel like you have. There's something.
I
You
have
have all of the items.
portable hole, a fey carpet,
Okay.
studded leather armor, boots of the
All right.
Winterlands, bow of accuracy,
Sure.
quiver of Alana, the arrow of elven dress, a mysterious arrow, but it's just poison, my trinket, and the training cuffs.
Okay. So, do you have a herbalism kit or something?
Yes.
Is there like anything that you can? Do you have proficiency in it?
Yes.
Like
Is there any sort of
smelling
like stuff that you can magic that you work with that like metaphorical magic, but literal science?
I mean, I can. Well, everyone's stable, so I can't really use my feet. So useless. Worst feet.
It's not. It's gonna be great. One of these days. Could you smelling salts?
What would Skyla do at this point?
Yeah, what would she do?
Skylar's doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and I'm just panicking.
Okay, that's fine. If Skyla's
That's
gonna
also
panic
fine.
for a few hours,
No,
if that's what she's gonna.
Because there's a storm coming, and she doesn't want everyone out in the open. But there's black smoke underneath that still needs to be aired out.
Okay, so would you check on everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you look everyone over, most of them seem to be under the same effect, sleeping, things like that. As you come to Roland, you do see that he is bleeding rather profusely from a nasty kind of blackened gash on the side of him. And it probably could use a little bit of tending to, if you wanted to work on that.
Okay. Well, I can. I mean, he's not down, but like I can stabilize
Also,
him.
Nessa is probably right.
What?
I
Nessa's
am.
probably pretty.
Nessa's
hurt.
bleeding profusely too.
Okay.
Do you have any healing?
You might
potions?
start with her, maybe. I don't know what Skylar would do, but she's...
Probably wait till she goes out, maybe.
I'm not
I'm just
touching
saying
that
you have-
fire.
I'm just
You
saying
have
she
any
probably
healing
looks as
potions?
bad as he does.
Yeah.
Even though she took
They
like
both-
3
they
times
both
as
look
much
pretty
damage.
I was worse, but I'm okay now.
I don't think I got time to make any healing stuff. I just have my herbalism. I have the recipe, but that doesn't really help right now.
Okay. Does anyone else have any healing potions?
I mean, I guess I could
I don't.
rifle through everything.
Okay. So as you rifle through some things, I'm gonna say that you do come across 2 healing potions. One of them in Bribus's room, and another one in Bo's room.
Oh, stealing is so bad. Okay. Kyla's going to she's going to take them, and just like as she goes over to Yessa and Roland, when she passes Bribus and Bo's bodies, like despite that they can't hear, be like, I owe you a healing potion, I'm so sorry. And, like just tears pouring down her face because she's stealing and it's awful.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you guys have in your bag of holding, but I'm pretty sure you have some healing potions in there. So that's on you guys. Like, I don't know.
But
I know
Kaylee
Kaylee
has that. She has that like locked down.
And Kaylee's passed out right now.
Although,
So
like,
if you wanted to steal one-
with a bag of holding, you just have to picture the object. Like, you might not even know that it's in there. If you just like, man, I could really use a healing potion, and if it's in there, you would get it, right? No, maybe.
someone text Kaylee.
That's accurate. That's 100%.
I don't know. I don't
is.
know if
If
Skylar
it's
tried
in there,
that.
that's how it works.
Would Skylar try that? I don't know if she would or not.
You guys have healing potions on you. If you wanted to take one from your party, you could.
Then yeah, I mean, if there are 2 available,
I know Kaylee has a greater healing potion, at least one, and Corin has one. So, I think Corin has one.
Healing Corn, I owe you guys healing. But like 3 each because I can't make greater ones yet.
I'm gonna feed them to. Well, I'm gonna do Roland first because this is on fire and it's a little intimidating.
Okay. So you feed Roland a greater healing potion, and I think that's
44 plus
8.
or 8?
Plus 8, I think.
So. Oh wait, we have it in my group.
Well, we can
44 plus
subtract
4.
if we need to. So we'll track 4, so 12.
Okay. As you feed the potion to Roland, his eyes snap open, and he comes to, having not actually been under the effects of the smoke
Oh
that was there.
Are you okay?
I think so. What is
Around this time, Nessa, your fire would probably be dissipating.
As soon as the fire's out, I'm going to feed Yessa a potion.
Okay. So you feed Nessa a potion, and you see her wounds kind of close up, but she doesn't seem to come to.
Do I need to roll anything for healing?
Yeah, 44 plus 4.
Sweet.
So while she's doing that, is there any sort of check I can? Ooh.
That was pathetic.
Is there any sort of check I can do to try to figure out like what gas was just used?
Yeah. What kind of check do you want to use?
I mean, I could use. Is it a magical gas?
It seems to be.
I don't know if alchemical necessarily qualifies as magical.
Yeah.
But I can
make
either medicine or arcana or.
Yeah. Which what are you proficient in, medicine and arcana?
I'm in both, but I'm better at arcana.
Okay, so go ahead and make an arcana check.
Okay.
What'd you get? 12. Okay, so you, just by looking at it and observing it, it seems to, the way that it expanded so quickly and hit so hard, and the way that it kind of like moved, it didn't seem, it seemed like it had some magical properties, but then you also notice that there is a elf aboard, and they cannot be put to sleep by magical means.
So okay, so the elf aboard being Kaylee, or like
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Bo is an elf. He's full-blooded elf.
Oh, he's one of the full-blooded elves.
He's a wood elf.
Okay, so so it's not necessarily magical, which means I don't necessarily need magic to dispel it. I'm going to try something. Oh, like who's nearest me? Let's say Ponderous is out here. I'm just gonna try smacking him in the face, like with all of my 104-pound might.
Make a strength, just a straight strength check.
Okay. Not bad for me.
So you kind of just like, you're pretty sure that if he was awake, he wouldn't have actually been affected all that much, but he would have been pissed. doesn't do anything. He kind of snores right on through it.
All right. I am so sorry. Oh, what was your name? We have not been introduced.
I'm Skyla.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Roland.
And
What is going on?
just so you know, also you can use your Tides of Chaos on skill checks as well.
Will you let me retroactively do it, or is it too late?
No, I'd say it's too late, but just in the future, just so you know.
Okay. I forgot. I thought it was just on attack rolls.
No, it's on any roll that you make.
Dadgummit, that's OP. But it's fun.
Tides of Chaos is super powerful.
Okay, alright. Anyway.
I don't know, there was one of them had like a glass and they broke it and then this black smoke came out and I don't have to breathe so I didn't have to inhale it, but Nessa breathed it in and it made her go to sleep and everyone's asleep and I can't wake them up. I tried shaking and hitting and splashing water and I can't get them awake, but also the ship isn't moving and there's nothing blocking it, so I think it's magical, but I don't know any magic, so I don't know how to fix it.
Well, maybe I can check on something with that. Perhaps was there no one else who might not have been affected by the gas?
Everyone else is asleep.
Okay. Can I run to the front of the ship? Because I assume if it was going to be stopped, it would, if some force pushing up against it, go to the prow and see if I can sense magic there. Would that be an Arcana check, or would that be any check, or?
Yeah, if you want, you can go up and let's see. I'd say make a straight Arcana check.
Okay,
go ahead.
We're still held in place. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the ship is almost kind of like listing. You can look up. You see the sails are like straining because the wind is hitting them, and the ship is kind of like sitting like this in the water almost, just at a dead stop.
Oh my god! I'm doing Tides of Chaos. Doing it.
Okay. All right. So as you kind of are sitting there, and you feel like the knowledge is just on the tip of your tongue, and I'm
panicked. I'm panicked.
You're just panicked.
Putting that NOS in the engine.
Just double check here. Anytime. So attack, roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Also, I'm very far away from it.
Wait. So let me think of that. Is this an ability check or a skill check?
I think technically it's. Oh, that's a good. That's a good question. I mean, I guess
we'll say for now that it works.
And we can change it.
Talk about that later.
Yeah.
I think as you're kind of sitting there and thinking on it, the answer's kind of like just on the tip of your tongue, and you just concentrate really hard on this, and all of a sudden it kind of comes to you that you've heard of things like this before in your dealings in Sapphire City. That there are certain types of magic that can be used to halt the ship. They haven't been used in a long time, and were usually employed by like military to enforce like embargoes and to prevent people from like coming ashore in times of war and stuff like that. They would like get onto a ship, stop it in place so that it couldn't reach land essentially.
So,
it's
what sort of anchor did they use? Was it a physical item, or?
And I think Skyla, or was it just Nessa that saw what they were holding in their hands?
I think it was just me. Yeah.
Okay.
What I
heard this before? It's something that is basically touched to the ship, and it locks the ship in place for 24 hours. And then if you have the item in question, you can touch it in place to the ship again to release it. Usually a small token or emblem.
Okay. So I'll whirl around to Skyla and just said like, was they holding anything? Did you see?
I don't know. I couldn't see, and Nessa was standing in front of me.
Is the gas still like flooding the hallways?
It's
Or is
probably
it dissipated?
dissipating about this time. Yeah, it's getting less. It's not as much.
All right. So, I feel like they took the item with them, but I'm just going to go down there and check to make sure that there's nothing they left behind. Just
You go and you kind of search the room and you don't find anything in particular.
Okay.
Nothing out of place other than your items that are kind of disheveled all about the room.
Skyla, I think there's nothing we can do for a while. I think we are stuck here. I think it is best for us to get everyone below the deck. I think it is dangerous for them to be up on this top deck if a storm is coming.
Yeah, I think so too. Have to carry everyone inside again.
Well, it is the smoke is clearing out enough that you could see, but it's still down there. It's still in there. You were basically holding your breath going below deck.
Okay. Do you have anything that we could perhaps clear out this air, or perhaps knock out the windows to help air it out faster?
I'm not sure. I don't think I have anything. Do any of the windows open?
No, the windows don't open. They're all portholes that are like built into the side of the ship.
I mean, can we bust the shit out of them and like?
Yeah, you can break them if you want.
Oh, you can mend them later, can't you?
I mean, yeah, actually, if they're
If
small.
I go on the
No.
outside of the ship and break the glass inward, we have all the pieces, and you can fix them later.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Let's
it.
do that.
I'm going to
Okay,
get on
so
my
you
carpet
go-
and break some of the portholes.
So as you go down, you begin swinging down and breaking the windows, and the smoke begins pouring out and clearing out a bit more. One by one, you go down and smash them. It slowly begins clearing out. As she's doing this, you kind of feel a bit weak, rolling a bit shaky, and you start to kind of lose control a bit again. So if you could roll another D100 for me.
Fair.
Standing
fair,
on the
fair.
deck, surrounded by all of your new friends and family members.
Seems
40.
bad. Seems bad, but I don't know.
The old one, I think. There's a sudden change in weather, temperature rising, rain, snow, etc., chosen at random by your DM, lasting 1d6 turns. Okay.
We're gonna have like really great weather. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So, Skyla, as you're down on the side of the ship, Roland, you kind of just feel the chills kind of come over you and start to see your breath kind of in the air. And all of a sudden, the sky up above you, above the ship, you hear
Oh God, hail!
as hail just begins to pour in onto the ship, into the water around it. Skyla, you're getting just like bombarded by hail as the storm is rolling in from the horizon. Kind of the leading edge of it is dumping these like chunks of ice, something you're actually fairly used to from, living up on the mountain. Ice falling from the sky is not that big of a deal to you. It does make it a little bit difficult to kind of break out the rest of the windows, but eventually you make your way around and do that. As the ship begins to clear out, you think it'll probably still take an hour or two to do.
Hold on.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the session.
Okay.
Getting
Whoops.
pelted by hail.
So now we're going to go ahead and end the session with the entire crew and half the party unconscious on the deck, frozen in the middle of the ocean with a storm on the way, and the only two people alive, or not alive, the only two people awake and trying to solve the problem and take care of the situation is the brand new wild magic sorcerer and Skyla the ranger.
Yeah. Chase.
Talk about fish out of water.
Yeah. I have nothing to help. Everything I have is for killing things, basically.
What are you?
It's a sorcerer. I mean,
I know,
that's
I know.
basically all there is.
I know.
It's like,
so that's
I can turn you into a sleeping otter.
That sounds
that's gonna be
great.
the session for the night. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Make sure you come back on Thursday for our Demon Seed campaign,
Season finale.
and then Saturday for Survivors Complex. Other than that, thanks for coming on out, and we love you all. And follow us on Twitter so you get all our updates and can stay tuned for those giveaways we were talking about at the beginning. Other than that, does anyone else have anything? No?
No.
All right.
If you are French or from Canada or from any other country in the world that speaks French or an adjacent thing, sorry, I'm doing my best and I'm working on it and just taking a big old risk here and just gonna practice. So, thank you for your patience.
Other than that, I think that's it for us for the night, and we love you all, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace, peace, peace.